Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, hi again. This is my channel. I love to do DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, thrift flips, farmhouse rustic decor, wreaths, and seasonal decor. And if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. And give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. And I also have a wreath shop. It's called Krista's Wreath Designs. It is an Etsy shop. I will have all those links down below. But today is all about the reason for the season. And our host is 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, and co-host is Crafty Hints and Rustic and Lace. More about that in a minute, but first, let's get into DIY number 1. So these are all going to be like nativity, faith-based for the season. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the stencils that I got on Amazon and a wooden round that I got from Hobby Lobby, some ribbon, some paints, and some picks. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stain this round. Actually, this round I believe is from Dollar Tree, I think. Oh, no, it's not. I got it from Hobby Lobby. Sorry, guys. So I am going to stain the whole thing front and back, and then I'm going to place my nativity scene stencil on the top. And I'm using Scotch tape, painter's tape actually, to kind of tape it down so it doesn't move, because I'm going to be using my stencil brush, and I use like a dabbing motion. The first thing I'm using, the first paint that I'm using, this is like a brushed metal paint. It's like gold color tone to it, but it's like a metal color. It's not really like gold. And I'm going to do all the stars on here with that color. And I'm just doing like a pouncing motion with my stencil brush. And that helps so it doesn't bleed through and go underneath. And it's better to use thick paints like I'm going to say chalk paints than using acrylic paints with these types of stencils, because you don't want it to leak underneath and it's really hard. So now the rest of it I'm just going to do with the white paint by Waverly chalk paint. And this worked out really well and it turned out really good and I really love it. It's so pretty. I actually sewed this at my craft show that I did a couple weekends ago, and I sold a couple of these, so they went really well, which makes me very happy because I love, you know, doing these type of DIYs for Christmas, because in our house it's all about, you know, it's all about Jesus being born. So that is a wonderful thing that we do here at our home. So what I did is I took my see how it leaked a little bit underneath, right, with the white chalk paint. So now what I did is I used my little finger sander. I sanded it a little bit to get the white off and wiped it. And then now I'm going to go back over it again with my stencil brush and use the Waverly chalk paint, Waverly wax, sorry, antique wax paint that I used all over it. And now I'm going to take this rope. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and right now their ribbon's 60% off. It's been for a while now. So I use this to kind of go on the outside rim of the round. Now, it made it look a lot better, I think, because it made it look not so cheap and flimsy or anything, and it just gave it a little bit more of a bling to it. And then I did a couple of the ribbons that I also got from Hobby Lobby, and I made a bow. And now I'm going to put these clusters. I love these gold, they're gold with snow on them on branches, and I got them at Hobby Lobby, those picks as well. And then I also used these snowy picks that I got from the Dollar Tree, which I absolutely love too, that they had out this year. And then I just kind of like putting things here and there. These are just all different picks that I had already in my stash from last year and some that I did get this year. And I'm just giving it that extra decorative touch. And I really love putting all these gold elements in, because I think it brings the gold out and the white, and it just makes it look really pretty, and it all goes together so well. And then I did a couple of these little leaves. This was a little pick that I got, I believe, from Hobby Lobby as well. They were really cheap. And there it is, you guys. You guys got to let me know what you think in the comments down below. So this is all about the reason for the season. So it's all about what it's all about, Christmas. We all know it's about, you know, a birth of Jesus and Mary and Joseph and Nativity and all that good stuff. So that is what we are doing today. So this is DIY number 2. I'm going to use this Christmas tree that I got from Hobby Lobby, a stencil that I have from Chalk Tour, and some of these scrapbook papers that I got from this pad from Michael's, and that star you see there, those wooden stars from Dollar Tree, and also my antique wax, some picks from Dollar Tree, these little tiny presents that you could get at Hobby Lobby. They come in like little package where the little Christmas stuff is, decorations. And what I did is I used my, first I went in and I used my baby wipe to put the antique wax on, and then I figured I got to get in between these cracks too. So what I did is I used my stencil brush and I just brushed the antique wax in between those first, and then I did the rest with my brush, because for some reason the antique wax was like not coming out the way I wanted it. It wasn't dark enough, so brushing it on, and this antique wax is a new bottle and it was grainy. So I bought a bad batch, I guess, and so it really wasn't working very well. So I had to leave it on for a little bit. I let it sit, and then I used my my paper towel to wipe it off. And then next, I just covered up the hole on this little wooden star that I had with some of that caulking stuff and from the Dollar Tree. Let that dry, and now I'm just going to trace out each piece of paper that I'm going to put on the front of the tree. And then I cut those out, and next I'm going to paint with that same gold that I used previously, this metal gold for my star, and now I'm going to Mod Podge all of these pieces on. And the reason why I did the whole thing in antique wax, even though I'm covering it, you don't have to, but I did because I knew I was going to be selling this at my craft show, and I wanted to make sure everything was completely done the right way, because I like to sell everything and make sure it's good. So then I went with the Mod Podge, and I repeated the same process for all of the scrapbook paper, and then I also did it on the top as well, just to make sure it's sealed and it's not going to peel up. Because like I said, I like to make sure I have a finished, nice product to give my customers. And these came out so, so pretty and so cute. Oh, and then I use, this trick is really cool. I bought this little iron on Amazon, and it was really cheap. It was not expensive at all. And you put a little bit of your parchment paper on top, and then you iron. You just use your iron on top of that. And what it does is it stops it from bubbling. Now, this scrapbook paper is really, really thick. I wasn't too worried about it, but I did it anyways, just in case, because I didn't want it to bubble up. So I love this trick. It works every time. So if you can get one of these little irons, I would definitely look for them on Amazon. As a matter of fact, I will make sure I link it in my Amazon store, which I will have down in my description box below so that you guys can check it out. So next, I'm going to use my Chalk Couture. I know you guys, if you guys have been with me, you know I use Chalk Couture a lot. I love it. It's my favorite thing to use, stencils. So what you do is you fuzz it. That's called a fuzzing mat. And you don't want it to stick a lot because you don't want to peel the paper up or paint or anything like that. And it also helps, you know, to move your stencil around if you need to. So then I went in with this snowy white color. It's kind of like got a little glitter to it. Chalk, it's paste, and I just smooth it through with my little squeegee, lift it up, and then you have a beautiful little thing on your front of your tree. Then I glued my star on top, and yeah, and then I went in with this snow tech stuff. You can get it at any craft store. I got mine at Hobby Lobby, and I just used a, you can use a brush, a stiff brush, old brush, or you can use a popsicle stick. That's what I use. And I just did it around the bottom because I didn't like the way it looked, and I wanted it to look snowy on the bottom of my tree. And then I used some of this glitter snow from the Dollar Tree as well to put on top of that. And I let it dry, and I just, isn't it cute? I like that. I think it looks cuter. And then I took some of these picks. I like these picks at the Dollar Tree they had this year. And these ones had a little bit of snow on them. And I just cut them down a little bit smaller. And I used 2 of them to glue down in the front of my tree. And then I'm going to glue down those little presents as well. But you could do whatever you want. This is just for, you know, to give you guys some ideas. But like I said, I did sell this at my craft show, so it went very, very well. And I think it just turned out so cute. Oh, and then I used some of these berries from the Dollar Tree as well, and I stuck those in the front too. So, oh, and I also stuck some of those little branches at the top of the tree as well, and some berries at the top on my little star too. Just so kind of everything matched and looked, you know, really nice. And I just love the way this turned out, you guys. If you're interested in Chocolate Tour, I'll have that down below as well. The store, and yeah, you could check it out. So on to DIY number 3. Now this one's really cute too. I am using one of these houses from the Dollar Tree, and also that little pack with the nativity scene that you get at the Dollar Tree. One of these crosses that I got, actually these, I got a whole bunch of them for like $1.98 or $1.48 at Walmart. My scrapbook paper that I absolutely love this year, I'm using that. And what I did is, because you can't take these houses apart, they're really hard to take apart, and I didn't want to break anything. I didn't want to chip the wood or anything. So what I did is I just traced like and kind of made the indentations, and I knew where to cut it. And I also painted the inside with the Truffle paint by Waverly. This is Truffle, not Antique Wax. And I painted the inside so that if the paper doesn't fit, you're not going to notice, because it's going to be almost the same color as the paper. So if a little bit shows, it's okay. And then what I used is my antique wax, and I went over all of the nativity scene that I got from the Dollar Tree. I did with the antique wax, and I did the whole thing, and then I went in and wiped it with my paper towel. And like I said, this was really grainy. I did not like this antique wax. I have to get another one. And yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it, but it worked, I mean, for the most part. So it wasn't that bad, but it just was a mess. Can you tell? It was a mess. So then I took my Mod Podge, and I'm going to use that to glue down my scrapbook paper on the inside. And I just use my little squeegee brushes. I love using those to spread out any Mod Podge. I think they just work so well. And then I just kind of pushed it down and made sure it was going to stick. And then I went over the top of all the nativity with a heavy dry brush. I mean, that means I didn't go lightly with the dry brushing. I went heavy because I wanted it to kind of stand out from the truffle paint of the house. So that's why I did it that way. So that now this looks different, but it also has that little hint of the brown color in it as well. And I wanted it to look rustic and old, and that's why I did it this way. And I sold this too, you guys. All of these that I made, I sold everything at my craft show. I did very, very well. So I'm very happy with the results. And these really do look so, so pretty. And I made one for myself too, so I have one in my house. And I actually put a light on the inside of mine. But I did let people know that they could do that too, the little tea lights. And I like the ones that change colors, so that's what I used. And then I used this little star that I had in my stash of little goodies. I think I got these, a bag of them at like Hobby Lobby. And I just put that at top for the star. And then I'm going to use wood glue. This is the super glue wood glue that you get at the Dollar Tree, and also hot glue to glue this together, because I knew I was going to be selling this. I want to make sure everything's going to stay stuck together and it's not going to fall apart. And so that's why I use both. And then once I got that all nice and glued down, I let it sit for a little bit. And then I did the 3 wise men in the back of the manger because I wanted the Mary and Joseph to kind of be sticking out a little bit, and baby Jesus, so that's what I did. And then I glued that to the back like that, so it kind of looks like 3D, and I really love the way this turned out. And then I'm going to use some of that straw on the outside as well to make it look like the barn. So I thought this was a really cool idea. I absolutely love the way this turned out, you guys. And there it is. And then I took I just took the straw and I'm just going to use it. It's the raffia, and I just cut it into pieces, and then I kind of gathered it, and then I just put a whole bunch of glue on the bottom, and then I just kind of used my little silicone makeup tool that you get in the makeup section at Dollar Tree to kind of like push it down, and so I didn't burn my fingers. And yeah, it worked out perfectly. And then I just trimmed the edges of the, you know, if it was too crazy, I just trimmed around the edges, and it looked just like the barn where Jesus was born. And I absolutely love this DIY. And I made a couple different kinds of versions of these, so I don't know if I had them in my other videos. I'm not sure, but this is how this one turned out. And then I took the little cross that I showed you earlier, and I love these little wooden crosses that they had at Walmart. So cute. And they think they were only $1.48, and you got like 6 of them. So, and then I just used a little pick from Dollar Tree, and I just glued that on top of the cross. And I'm going to glue that now to the top back portion of my little barn slash house, I guess you could call it. And I just glued that down. And then I stuck this little white bead on the front as well. And that's it, you guys, for this DIY. Let me know what you think. I think it turned out so pretty. I love it. Now DIY number 4. So this DIY, I'm going to use the same stencil I used a minute ago. And they have these new wood pieces signs at the Dollar Tree, and I love them. So rustic looking. And I took one of these little ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to use my wood burning tool to cut this. So I'm melting it basically, and I'm just going to use it and cut it right in half. So if you don't have a wood burning tool, you can use, you know, any sharp utensil that you have to cut, you know, plastic. But this was easier, so that's why I had this, so I used it. And then I took some tape and I taped off the top part because I want to keep that natural wood looking, because it looks like the bark on the outside of a tree, and I love it. And then I used this navy blue dark color by Folk Art, and it's so pretty. I love this blue. And then I took the tape off, and then what I did is I went in with my white Waverly chalk paint, used my stencil brush, and I went around the edges and made it look like snow almost on the edges, but just a little bit, not too much. I didn't want to make it look, you know, go crazy with it. And I did that on the top of the sign and the bottom, and then I dry brushed the actual part that, I don't know if you could see it on this, but like the top part of the signs, I don't know if you have seen them at your Dollar Tree or not, it looks like the bark of the tree, so the outside of the tree, I guess you could say. And it just turned out really cute. I just love it. And yeah, so there it is, and I just dry brushed that with the white just to bring it out a little bit more and bring out those little grooves and make it look even more rustic. I don't know if you could tell, but I love stenciling. I love using stencil brushes with all my things. I just think it looks so cool. And it turns out really super pretty and rustic. And I love farm and rustic. So, and then if you use Chalk Couture and you're not using a chalkboard, they want you to use this surfacing wax, it's called. And you get that too with the Chalk Couture stuff. And you use that on top first. You just put it on with your paper towel. And then you can put your stencil on top, and then you use it. And then you just use your little squeegee and put the paste through your stencil. And this turns out so pretty. And I like the extra little thing I do to this one, though. I sold this sign, too. I sold a couple of these, too. And there it is. Isn't it pretty? And then, because the jagged edges were so jagged from me melting it, that I decided to go in with, I had this silver rope, like, ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree. So I just went around the edges twice with it, and I just kept going around the edges and just kept gluing it and going around the edges. And I did this twice, and it also brought it up a little bit, because what you're going to see, I'm going to put some of that snow on the inside of the center of where the actual manger is. And then I kind of Mod Podged it down because I don't want the snow to move around, so I want you to see the image. And then I just used the glue and I glued down my little ornament on top of that. And you guys, this came out so pretty. Let me know what you think. I love this one too. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check everyone out. The playlist will be down below. And thanks for watching. And remember, stay crafty.